morning, my friends. This is a little candle you saw me make a while back. When up in clean air, this candle has a complete flame of about 2 inches. But I want to show you something. I'm hitting the inside of my cab of my truck with my propane space heater. And what I'm about to show you is a life-saving hack. Look at the flame on my candle down there. It's all but smothered. Now let me explain why the flame is so low down here. And watch, as I lower the candle down, it gets even lower of a flame. The further down I go, hit a pocket of clean air down there. Here's the thing, what's smothering that candle is CO, carbon monoxide. That's an issue when you have a propane heater going in a closed space. Don't mind the pile, that's just my blankets. I want you to see something. Over here behind, see this white device right there? That's a CO detector that I have in my truck. Now, I've taken the batteries out of it. It already sounded off to warn me of CO in the truck. But here's another trick that you can use if you don't have a CO detector, if you don't have a candle. Light a Bic lighter. Okay, now that flame is pretty regular. But you notice how it changes when I go down here? See how it's kind of elongating and getting narrow at the base? That flame will actually go out to about 2 or 3 inches when CO is thick enough. See how it's extending out? As opposed to a normal Bic flame, which would be like this. It gets very shaggy and very poor of a flame down here. It gets even worse, and I'll bring you back and show you that. Okay. There, you see how that flame is? Sticking way up above the lighter. That's a sure sign of CO. When the lighter operates like that. Okay? Not good. This is why I'm showing you this. Because propane space heater puts out a certain amount of CO. And you don't want it to kill you when you're trying to do survival inside of a closed cabin of a vehicle. So that's why I'm showing you this trick. This is how you can keep aware of your CO levels if you don't have a detector, because your lighter won't want to light properly, and or it will have a funky flame. If your Bic lighter is warm and it won't light right and it has a funky flame, you have CO. And the only way to handle that in a closed cabin is to open the door, turn on the blower, and blow out the CO, because here's the thing. Let me turn this light around so you can see my smiling face. Well, not to put too fine a point on it, freedom of association means basically, if I don't choose to associate with any given group, I don't have to. For instance, in my lifetime, I've been invited several times to join Mensa, and I chose not to. They can't tell me that I have discriminated against them by choosing not to join their group. Same goes for a whole lot of other things. Here's the point I'm trying to make here. A few years ago, when Obama was still in office, there was a baker who didn't want to make a cake for a homosexual wedding, or I forget just what it was, the details. They could have cited this freedom of speech clause and have been completely within their rights. They choose not to associate with a given group because it is against their religion or whatever. But it is 1958, it was included in the Bill of Rights by the U.S. Supreme Court. And it would have been a prima facie defense against what they were charged with. just thought I'd share that notion with you. Well, I had you here for the camera, and you saw it on my desktop. Whilst we're discussing ways to keep warm in the cold, let me introduce you to another idea here. Yeah, that's just a rag rug, as they're called. But it's not the rug itself that's important, it's what's rolled up inside of it. Now, some of you boys and girls will recognize what that is, and some will not. That is an old-fashioned hot water bottle. Now, this one has had hot water I boiled last night. It's just down to warmer than body temperature now. And it is now 6:46 in the morning. And yes, look at that. It's still dark outside. That's what happens this time of year. It stays dark longer and gets colder sooner in the day. But one of these wrapped up in this rag rug, I boiled that water at about 2 this morning. And it's just warmer than body temperature now. So wrapped up in that rag rug down there underneath my knees, with a blanket over the top of me, has kept me warm for hours and hours and hours. Not as warm as I would like, but warmer than I would have been. And then with my propane space heater going, well, that helped too. But you see, the problem is my propane space heater's up here. How do I get the heat down there? That's why I put the hot water bottle wrapped up in the rag rug under my knees, sitting on the floor, under my knees, right against the seat. And then I cover my legs with a blanket. This is what keeps my lower body warm. Warm enough to be tolerable. And the propane keeps my upper body warm. See, you just got to be smarter than the equipment you're dealt to work with. I've got 2 or 3 of these, I think. 2 of them are still sitting over in my storage. I've just got the one here in the camp with me. But, yeah, it's a little dirty looking. That's because I've been having it sitting on the floor. It just needs a good bath. But for the purpose for which I'm using it, that's just fine. It doesn't matter that much. Of course, this is one I picked up at a tag sale. It was kind of dirty when I bought it. And I bought it for this very purpose in mind. So I really don't care. It's not like I'm slipping it into a clean bed to keep warm with. This one is, like I said, I bought this for this very purpose. To put boiling water into, to wrap up in this rag rug, and to put on the floorboard of my truck to help keep me warm this winter. I bought this about 3 months ago for that very purpose. Yep. Just thought I'd share another idea with you boys and girls.
By the way, don't forget to